Hey, Gary here with you. Day 16, AI blogging using GrooveBlog. Today is not very much about AI. It's more about GrooveBlog. So if you're interested in GrooveBlog, keep watching. We're going to jump in here. We left off at Page Insights. We were looking at this performance score both on the mobile and the desktop. They're both pretty bad. And if you scroll down, you can see the issue here. I'll go ahead and collapse that. The main issue is properly sized images. Now, I'd mentioned that when you upload the images, again, if you go back into GrooveBlog, this is the one we're focusing on. This is the post, simple trick, how to memorize the planets in order. What I'd done is I'd added these basic facts about the planets in their order. Of course, all this information was written by the AI, but I wanted to add these images to just punch up or power up the post, right? To give it a little more pizzazz, if you will. So these images here, if you take a look at the sizes, these are the images. And of course, I got these images from NASA. You can see, except for this one, which is 1.2 megabytes, they're relatively small as far as that goes. If you go check them out, you'll see that this image is not the image that has the major problem. If you scroll down, you'll see this image of Jupiter here in the middle. It actually has been compressed by, and you can see here, images.groovetech.io by GroovePages. We talked about that in the last video where we downloaded the videos and we uploaded them versus linking out to the image source, the JPEG, the original JPEG at NASA site, and then giving them credit as far as the source of the photo with just the link. So you can see the WebP version that GroovePages, images.groovetech.io, they did compress this. So there's not much savings there. The issue now is this file here that is rather big, but this image here is not in, or it's not one of the planets that I put in the post. Here are the post images. Of course, this is PageSpeed's Insights showing you the size of the images and the link back to GrooveTech. But then these images here are actually thumbnails. So this image here, if you go to the post, you'll see that this image here is the one that has the problem. So it's the list of popular posts. So this image here, this little tiny thumbnail, is actually loading the complete image. So if you were to click on this and open image in new tab and then take a look at that, you'll see that this is the image that it's loading, even though it just needs this little, what I would call a thumbnail to load. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this popular post out of this post and run this test again and see what we have. So we'll go back to GrooveBlog and we'll go ahead and we'll exit out of this and we'll go ahead and do not save. I didn't make any changes. And then what I'm going to do is find that post, this one right here, Astronomy Books for Beginners, Top Picks to Get Started. We'll go in and we'll edit that. And then in this, you have down here the little tick box for the popular post, and we'll take it out of popular post and then we'll publish that. Now we'll go back to simple tricks, how to memorize the order. And this is the one here, Astronomy Books for Beginners, Top Picks to Get Started. That is the image that was having the problem. We'll go ahead and refresh this. Now that should be gone out of that popular post. And now you can see we only have 4. So now again, I've taken this image out. The other ones are, we'll just say relatively small at this point. And we'll go ahead and we're going to analyze this again. Now there are things you can do, for example, like tiny PNG, smart web PNG, PNG and JPEG compression to make these smaller. But if you look at the results, when it gives you the results, it actually gives you how to properly size images from Google. And they use this Lighthouse. This Lighthouse report is the actual report, and it says the size and the potential savings. And it walks through all the strategies of how to do this and how you can get specific guidance for your platform. Of course, WordPress has a specific guidance here, or Google is giving you specific guidance on WordPress. But I'm relying, again, on GrooveBlog inside of Groove to do all this for me. That's why when I upload it, or you upload it, it converts it to WebP, I am assuming, and they did. If you look at the report, and you can see that saved, or now it's at 24. You can see if we scroll down, we took a few seconds off of it, but now you can see it's still these 1, 2, 3 here that are causing the problem. So at this point, these are the images. If you go back into this post, these images here, these featured images, I chose these by clicking choose and then going to free stock photos. And I pulled these out of the free stock photos here. So if you're to look for stars, these are where those are coming from. So I would need to download those individually or find a different repository and then upload those if I wanted to make those smaller. But you can see, again, 400 kilobytes. I mean, when you stack them all on top of each other and the fact that GrooveBlog is serving up the full size of the photo, even though if you go back here to popular post, really, it should just be serving up, in my opinion, just a small thumbnail. And that's really what they're complaining about here on the page insights, is it is literally saying, serve images that are appropriately sized to save cellular and improve load time. So it doesn't need the full image. It just needs that little compressed thumbnail. There's really no way for me to fix that at this point, at this time. So we're just going to keep rocking with it because we have desktop improved to 64, mobile went up to 24. Again, I could change these and I might later on go back and revisit finding better images or different images or downloading those images from GrooveBlog or Groove Pages, the free Groove photos, whatever that repository is. Or I could always just click on this and have this image right here. And then of course I could always just save that image. And then if I wanted to save that, then I could take it and maybe compress that a little bit using tiny PNG. But at the end of the day, GrooveBlog is supposed to be doing the heavy lifting, and that's what we're testing. That's what we're looking at in this video. We're looking at what does GrooveBlog give us as a blogging platform. I started at the beginning of this case study saying we were going to use GrooveBlog, good, bad, ugly, just to see what ranks, what doesn't rank. So I'm just going to go with these defaults and just work with what I got, because the images that I'm pulling over from NASA and downloading and then re-uploading to Google or to Groove, and they're converting it to a WebP versus the JPEG I download, they are compressing that quite a bit. And that doesn't seem to be the problem that we're having. It seems to be the free stock photos that we're using inside of Groove. Those just aren't being resized appropriately. And even then, it's that little thumbnail image in that popular post. It is supposed to just display that little image. I think they could re-engineer that to create a big savings if they just showed a smaller image or preview of that. And I think I'll open a ticket to Groove support and see what they say about it, because at the end of the day, I'm using GrooveBlog. I'm using their platform. So if I was using Wix or Squarespace or something like that, I am using their platform. So they need to work on the performance, or they need to give me insight on how to increase the performance. And again, I think they'll probably come back and say, well, you need to find your own images and you need to compress them. But again, if I upload them and they convert them to WebP, it would be my hope that they would take on that responsibility and compress them. And not only compress them, but then also in that popular post where it just needs to be a smaller image, they would figure out some way to make sure that they are getting the best performance possible when you look at PageSpeed insights. So I'm going to provide that information to them, see what they say, and bring that back when they give me an answer. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.